got one question. I need to know, do revolutionaries go to heaven? And if so, may their legacies last forever and their seeds grow. Tell them that we love them so and never let them die slow. It's like we cursed to be born black. We was kings and queens, now look where we at. I know it won't be long before we take it back. I just hope I live long enough to see it happen, and that's a fact. Cause one thing when you pro-black, you might love your people, but they may not love you back. For more than 400 years, we've been under attack. We survived slavery and then they gave us crack. Do revolutionaries go to heaven? 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 I wanna know. Do revolutionaries go to heaven? I hope so. Do revolutionaries go to heaven? I wanna know. Do revolutionaries go to heaven?
Man, first and foremost, I want to thank you. It's definitely an honor. I appreciate you coming on the platform. I was looking at your bio, man. You done put in some major work. You done worked with basically some of the greatest musicians on the planet. You know what I'm saying? And you equally contributed to, a lot of those records. But a lot of times, the producers, they don't get the flowers that they deserve. You know what I'm saying? You done work with some icons, man. So I want to kind of talk about a little bit of that. We got a worldwide audience, man. I'm a world traveler. I've been to 70 countries. We got people tuning in from different parts of the world. They may not know, right? They might not know who you are. They might not recognize you. Let them know what your name is and definitely where you from.
Well, first off, man, I appreciate you having me, King. It's an honor in itself when anyone, would have you on the platform to, share my story, share my journey in hopes that it inspires others, to chase and live their dreams, man. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. It's the King Amadeus, a multi-platinum bad boy hitman producer, blessed to produce for over 100 artists. Just to name a few: J-Lo, Chris Brown, Trey Songz, Tiger, Jeezy, Fab, Keisha Cole, T.I. The long, long, long list, man. A lot of film scoring. Produced the ESPN First Take theme song. Worked with Sprite, Burger King, BT, VH1, MTV. The list goes on and on. Also toured Trey Songz as his music director, tour drummer for the last 15, 16 years. So any show that you've seen where you've seen a live band backing him, I'm on stage rocking the drums there. Also have a residency, number one nightclub in Las Vegas, Dre's nightclub, every weekend every other weekend. Just came back actually yesterday. We had Rick Ross and who else we had? Wiz Khalifa in the building this weekend, man. So it's been 20 plus years in the game. Also, I'm also a new author of the story of Amadeus and the beat goes on, which is out right now. It's a kids young adult book, just sharing my story of how I became Amadeus and who I am today. So yeah, man, it's been a long journey, man.
Man, that's phenomenal, man. You done rub shoulders with a lot of iconic people, man. Like I said before, those are your peers, so it's definitely an honor to have you on here. Now, I kind of want to take it back a little bit. Like, what were your, I guess, first musical influences early on?
Oh man, I had a really nice catalog. My parents, shout out to both of my parents. My parents were music lovers, so I was always surrounded with all different type of genres in music. Excuse me. I fell in love with hip hop. So for me, man, it started with like, KRS One and like, Black Sheep. You know what I'm saying? Gangstar. What I'm just thinking about like the cassette tapes I had, when I was little. I had my first cassette tape I ever bought was the damn, what was that joint called, man? It had the Biggie Party and Bullish, on a joint. Who's the man? Who's the man soundtrack was one of the first tapes that I purchased. So, back then, yes, bugging out Wu Tang, Big, Jay Z, um, just everybody, man. Anybody that just had a dope beat, I rocked. So I can't forget about like Naughty by Nature and there's so many, man. Queen Latifah, like the list goes on and on and on and on, man. In regards to the influences and in regards to production, I would say Puff Daddy. I was probably still is one of the biggest Puff Daddy fans in the world, man. So Puff Daddy and the Hitmen. Of course, I looked up to Dr. Dre, Kanye West, Just Blaze, Swiss Beats, Rodney Jerkins, the Neptunes. you know, so those are definitely some of the producers, RZA, that I would say I looked up to, and music that that I listened to, back growing up back in the day. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no doubt. Now I was looking at your bio. You from the Bronx?
Big Bronx energy.
Wow, that's a
Big Bronx
blessing,
energy.
man. That's a blessing. You from the motherland where it all started at, you know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's definitely a blessing because, like, I mean, probably 99% of the world we got exposed to hip hop through the radio or TV, but you had it like, right around the corner or up the
Right.
block or,
Right.
with some of the
Absolutely.
best of the best. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what's up. Now, around what age did you actually start getting into it? Did you start off drumming or was you a MC or was you DJing or?
Yes, I started with the drums. I remember my parents buying me a drum set. I probably had to be about 3 or 4 years old, so I always, was in love with music. In the fourth grade, I went to a school called St. Augustine School of the Arts. In that school, it was a part of a program for you to choose a musical instrument, and I wanted to learn how to play either the saxophone or the trumpet. I was absent on the day that we were able to choose the instrument that we wanted to learn how to play. So the day that I went, it was only the violin and percussion. And again, I'm from the Bronx, from the hood, 169th Washington Avenue to be exact, the nine. And I was already kind of like a target because I had to dress up to go to school because I went to Catholic school all my life. And then, that natural street sense and smarts kind of kicked in. And I was like, okay, the last thing I want to do is be walking through the hood, dressed up with a violin case, and there's no disrespect to any of the musicians that's violinists out there. It's a beautiful instrument. I did name myself Amadeus, so I respect classical music and the violin. It just wasn't for me. I chose percussion, didn't even know what it meant. Walked into the classroom and learned that it had everything to do with rhythm. So I would say in the fourth grade was when I picked up the drumsticks from an understanding sense of what it is, and fell in love with it immediately once I realized that I was a natural at that instrument.
Man, that's what's up, man. And the way it played out, man, by you being a producer. I mean, I guess it could have went either way, but I guess from the outside looking in, like, we want that drum, we want that knock, you know what I'm saying? So you done
Right.
mastered that, then the rest is just, you know what I'm saying? That's
Yes,
dope,
sir.
man.